Oh my goodness, it worked. We're doing it. We're doing it. We are doing it. Hello, howdy, and welcome to episode 106 of Wada Hockey, where we talk all things Texas hockey and the stories and culture that surround it. We're coming off a wild weekend where we celebrated our 100th episode at Northside Draft House. Got the whole gang here, but before we dive into this week's episode, we have to thank all of the French fries that came out and all the people that offered up their raffle prizes for us: Celestial Brewing, Bishop Cider Company, False Idol Brewing, Super Deeker, and of course the Out Americans. And a special thanks, obviously, to Blake and Jared from Northside for all of their support pretty much since day one, for allowing us to basically make Northside Draft House the hub for Wada Hockey. And a huge shout out to Randy from Third Line Draft, which we'll get into here in a little bit. He flew in for this event specifically. I want to be rich like you one day, Randy, where I can just get up and fly wherever. But he was there.
Fly to Dallas on a Tuesday or a Friday.
On a whim, and literally just hung out, just vibing out. But he was part of the special night as well. That being said, you know what to do. Follow us on all the social medias at Wada Hockey. And to kick it off, let's send it to the gang. We'll chat about the old Selly. First and foremost, the producer with the most.
Thank you.
He does it every week. He makes us sound like golden gods. Pat, a.k.a. Schmitty. How the heck are you, man? How have we recovered yet from last Friday? How are we feeling?
I feel great now. Saturday was not great.
Girl, preach.
Did you get all the sin out of you?
I fell asleep on the couch a little bit after grabbing $30 of Whataburger breakfast. And from probably 2 o'clock until 8, and then 8:30 had dinner and went to bed. We were in bed for 8 to 12 hours the entire day.
Oh my word.
It was worth it though, because Friday was a fantastic time. I had a lot of fun. And I'll say again, thanks to everybody that came out. And special shout out to the folks. A few of you guys bought me Jaeger bombs.
Jaeger.
I had about 3 Red Bulls worth of Jaeger bombs on Friday.
You know what? I love Jaeger. I'm not against it. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea.
Same. I love it.
I love it.
You either love it or you hate it.
I really, really would love if Jaeger was a sponsor of this podcast. Shannon, I know you're probably like, you.
But yeah, I could get on board with that.
Stupid boys. But yeah, I love Jaeger, and I don't care who knows. I can't wait to maybe have a Jaeger machine in my house one day.
Oh,
dude, wouldn't that be the dream?
Yeah, they're great. So
yeah, dude, it was a lot of fun.
The whole gang was there. It was a lot of fun. Jason, how did you recover, my friend? How was your bounce back?
Man, I recovered by going to work. Work that shit off, man.
Yeah, that's terrible.
I had to be at work at like 7:30.
You sent a text in the group chat. You're like, I'm getting off of work. We were like, what?
We thought you were like just waking up.
Nah, man, I'd already been living for like 6 hours. What are you guys doing?
Recovering,
sleeping.
Sleeping.
Yeah.
Oh man,
it's just another day at the paradise, serving the good old folks of Rowlett.
Parking and recreation.
Yeah, parking and wrecking.
Well, you did great. We all did great. That was a night. That was a time.
Yeah, my bar tab was like way. I mean, I had my fair share. So
yeah, we all
back
did.
A couple hefty IPAs and
little 9%er.
There you go.
A couple double IPAs, and
that's how most people think of Jaeger. That's what I think of IPAs. I can't do it.
Same. Can't do it.
They're icky.
Because you're not drinking the right ones.
Speaking of the right ones, all of us on this podcast, soon to be Patrick too, have the right ones when it comes to bags.
We're all like, where's this going?
I'm back on my Segway. We rolling around. And those bags are called Conway and Banks bags. Jason or DJ, what did we come up with?
What?
Your DJ name?
No.
Oh, Funky J.
Yeah, Funky J. Spin
Yeah,
that
DJ
Conway
Funky
and Banks.
J.
Spin that Conway and Banks.
So I guess DJ Finger Blast was a no.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, yeah, it was though.
I think that's your new nickname.
No, but see, if I'm trying to get gigs at like high school proms, I don't think I can do that.
That's the
With
perfect
that
place for
attitude.
DJ Finger
Blast in the
Blast to show
name.
up.
Come on.
You could see like a bat mitzvah, like, oh look, it's DJ Finger Blast.
Oh,
Oh,
look at him, Myrtle.
But
Oh
yeah,
man,
yeah,
so
tell
Conway and Banks,
tell me a
y'all.
little bit more about the old Conway and Banks bags.
You know, I put all my DJ stuff in my Conway and Banks bag because it has so many organizers in there.
True. Nice.
Oh man, but no, honestly, guys, go check out conwaybanks.com. Go to the link in our bio. Go check it out. They've got all the bags you're gonna need. They've got the gold lamp red. They've got the black. They've got the navy. You guys missed out on the D5 one, but
Sad.
you could still get some great bags there. They come with removable organizers to keep all your stuff organized. They also come with these beautiful, like waterproof materials, and they have these giant holes on the side that keep all your gear like nice and ventilated. So yeah, just go check it out. Go to the link in our bio. Go check it out. Use code WHATAHOCKEY10 and get your gear to the rink. And Shannon, come on. All
did
right.
And you didn't even tell
There
us
we
what your
go.
favorite feature was. though. I
Oh,
don't-
the foot match. Shit. Sorry. It is the foot mat though.
You
because it
love
keeps
the
my
foot
feet-
mat.
Keeps my feet nice and not moist
Where?
at all those nasty rinks.
There it is.
Yuck.
All over the
Valid.
place. All over the place. Not just here in DFW. Nasty rinks aren't exclusive to DFW, guys. They're all over the place. Up in the north in Minnesota, I've heard of some shit
Minnesota.
rinks up there.
yeah.
So
Locker
Guys.
rooms are disgusting in general. So
they just
true.
breed what's not strep?
Bacteria.
What's the staph infection? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. I've had that. It's not fun.
No, it's not,
Yeah.
dude.
Unless
had
you're into
it-
like pimple popping, then you can just drain that bad
Ugh.
boy.
Man, for a live episode, man, we were getting into
Gross.
it, and I love
Yeah,
it.
we really are.
What's up, everybody?
Gross.
What's up, chat?
Welcome.
Yeah, we need more people in the chat. It's okay. They'll come.
Oh,
If you build
yeah.
it, they will come.
yeah. Oh my gosh, it's the third time I've had to use that reference today,
Nice.
or that I've heard that reference today. I
Hell
said it
yeah.
twice at work.
Let's
so.
go. Shannon, fantastic job on the style. You're getting
Yeah,
better
absolutely.
every week.
Thank you.
Shannon, how was your weekend? How did you spend your recovery time, and was it with your kids?
Well, there was zero recovery time because I had my children with me at Northside. A lot of you actually took your time to verse them, in Smash Brothers and Mario Kart. And I think it's
Man.
personal for Fink now.
Yeah, I was gonna
actually.
say I saw Fink lose in
I don't
Mario
wanna talk- I
Kart.
don't wanna
So
talk about it. I don't
that's
wanna talk
okay,
about
man.
it.
embarrassing.
On the
Yeah.
Tell me
64,
about
at that you had home court advantage.
It was the controllers were all wonky.
Oh,
the controller.
okay.
A poor
Do you guys
carpenter
have a
blames
64,
his tool.
Shannon?
What?
Do you have an N64 at the house that he can practice on already?
No, my kids are just geniuses.
Okay, so yeah, dude, Fink, no
Nice.
excuses, man.
No, that's fair. I mean,
You shit the bed, dude.
I'm not a
I
genius.
mean,
Oh, it's fine, dude. It's fine.
Well-
other than that, my recovery was, like I said, I was momming, so I didn't really get to let as loose. But no, I'm super, super grateful for Blake and Jared and everyone at Northside, kind of letting my kids just hang out and beat them at Mario Kart. So thanks, guys.
I blame the remote controls.
It's a cop out.
Yeah, that's fine. I was just.
Did you not blow in the
jamming it.
controller? Like
No, we did have
beforehand?
to.
They did. They
Okay.
Shout
did.
out to Blake for really
Yeah.
working through all the issues of the N64 not being popped out for a little
Man.
while. So he
Yep.
he really set it up.
Lots of air.
Really got the dust out of it for you.
Sure
Yep.
did.
That being said, Northside Draft House, we've talked about them for weeks now. If you are in the DFW area, specifically Richardson, it's right across the street from UTD. We're going to keep pumping their tires no matter what. We're about to get into the hockey talk here in a second. We're going to wrap this up with a very fitting draft because people love drafts. And so we're going to end it with a nice little drunk food draft. So if you guys have a go-to drunk food, throw it in the chat, throw it in the comments. Let us know. It might make the list. So I got to skate at the American Airlines Center again. That was cool.
Don't sound too enthused about it.
Yeah, no joke.
It was cool.
And
was that
yes,
helmet
Shannon.
you're wearing atrocious?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Hey, at least I
Here
could
we go.
identify him.
Do you mean this? Do you mean this phenomenal look that was blessed all over the American Airlines
How
Center?
did we get so lucky?
The only issue I have with this photograph, if you look at this photograph,
is that you're not wearing it right now.
That and that I am in front of a Bud Light sign, and I am in fact a Coors Light man.
Oh, the silver bullets.
Yeah, you're welcome,
Get you some yellow
America.
bellies.
You're welcome, America.
Unacceptable.
So I did catch a little bit of flack from people that have been on the podcast.
Just jealousy.
Before. Seth Enzer said I should be banned from the game of hockey forever.
Make some
you know
valid
what?
points.
But you know how
he's an ugly color.
You know how sick he would look with that beard coming out of the bottom of that magnificent visor.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had a really good time. I was very grateful to the team of the Reapers who invited me to join their, I don't know. They invited me to play and I obliged and I had a fantastic time. A couple of them came out to the 100th episode Selly right after that. So that was really cool to hang out with them. The Puppers stood no chance against the Reapers as we came out victorious with a final score of, I believe, 5-0.
Yep.
It's a shellacking.
It was a bit of a shellacking.
Quite a shellacking.
Yeah, really fun. And there might be another one of those styles of skates coming up very soon. Maybe we'll get some live content. Not going to go into any further details. Got to keep it secret. But what I am not going to keep secret is Third Line Draft. If you are a beer leaguer like us and you love to travel and you have the money to, that must be nice. Third Line Hockey is perfect for you. We are super excited because, like I said earlier, Randy flew out just to hang out with us for the 100th episode. Selly, that was awesome. They're all about bringing like-minded individuals together for hockey-filled excursions. Places like Colorado Springs, Las Vegas, and Winston-Salem, North Carolina, to name a few. There are more options out there. They are planning more tournaments as well. They will all be homes for upcoming drafts and are open to all skill levels. So if you're just getting started or if you've played for 10 to 15 years, this is all for you. So there is only one requirement, and that is to have a blast. Have a good time. So check out all the details on how you can get signed up at thirdlinedraft.com, and remind you that is 3RDLINEDRAUGHT.com. And go ahead and give them a follow on Facebook so you can get all the updates, start meeting people within the community. That way you can make friends. So if you are one of those people that likes to travel alone and likes to experience things alone, then you can already have people there hanging out, waiting for you that you know and you're familiar with. So it's not like you're just walking into a room with a bunch of strangers. So do that. One more piece of exciting news for all the French fries, because apparently summer is here, judging by this garbage weather today with sun and
it's like 85 degrees, man. It felt amazing.
It's no, this was awful. I was miserable. I don't like the heat. I can't stand it. It's disgusting.
This is not heat.
I wouldn't even call that heat.
Anything above 70, I'm out. New dealer.
Heat wave.
It was a heat wave. Yeah. In the island, in the sun. Oi, oi.
Okay.
Bonus points if you know that movie. But Sauce Toss is back with Wada Hockey just in time for spring and summer. The code is back for 10% off of your entire order at saucetoss.com. #bags for beauties. So if you're looking for your new outdoor game, or if you have a warehouse that's big enough to be air conditioned and want to invite me over because it's too hot outside, I'll take that. Use code WADASAUCE today. 10% off the entire order. So head over to saucetoss.com and do that. Get your sauce toss to the backyard in style.
New tagline.
Let's talk a little bit of hockey. The Allen Americans announced that they have traded forward Gavin Gould. Hey, how are you? Thanks for coming. Poor guy played like 7 games. To the Wichita Thunder in exchange for Stéphane Fournier. Fournier adds size and grit to the Americans, clocking in at 6'4", 220 pounds, and has 12 points in 17 games with the Thunder, behind 7 goals and 5 assists. The Americans, they're hanging around the playoff picture. They're 6-4 in their last 10 and continue to battle for a spot in the Kelly Cup playoffs. And I have it on good authority that we're going to be bringing back many more of the Americans, players, coaches, and front office here in the very, very soon to be future. Words are hard, but yeah, stay tuned for that because we'll have more people from the Americans on here very soon. The Texas Stars kind of struggling lately. Not
strange.
Yeah, they were pretty much firmly at the top of the Central Division in the AHL for
quite some time.
Yeah. I couldn't even come up with the words because it's been so long. But they are now in second place to the Milwaukee Admirals. They both have 64 points. And stop me if you've heard this before. The Admirals currently sit at the top of the division as they have 3 more regulation wins, and the Texas Stars currently sit with 7 overtime losses.
Ooh.
7 overtime losses.
Those are rookie numbers. You got to pump those numbers up.
Yeah, something's in the way. Love that song. Great song. Batman, great movie, right, Pat? Yeah. So overtime losses, not just a struggle in the NHL, but also the AHL for the Stars system. The Dallas Stars. We're going to get into it. It only took us 20 minutes, but we're going to get into it.
Oh boy.
The Stars offense has completely fallen apart and fizzled as of late. And I feel very comfortable saying that. They still are at the top of the Central as of today, Tuesday, February 21st. That's when we record. It's live though, so
yeah, it's
thousands of people watching will know that. But they're at the top, 72 points. The Jets are only 1 point behind the Stars, and thankfully, even though the Stars are 3-2-5 in their last 10 games, yes, 2-5, the Jets have been playing 500 hockey, and they are sitting in second. So I think the Jets are 5-5 in their last 10. So they've also helped out the Stars a bit by not being good or being 500. There is a little bit of hope for the Stars as now, after the All-Star break, they have the easiest strength of schedule, which you would think would be good, right? Well, tell me about that whenever Saturday came around this last weekend and they got pumped by none other than the Columbus Blue Jackets, which in my opinion is where hockey goes to die. Ooh.
It's not just hockey. Columbus sucks.
Yeah.
Burn.
I had no fun in Columbus when I went.
Well, it's because you were in Ohio, which...
Boom.
And if Drew Carey's not there, then what's the point? What's the point? But honestly, it's that game. Bowling for Soup's a great band. That game
Thank you.
Was so frustrating. And I told you guys when we were all kind of chatting in the group chat, I shut my laptop and I was done. You could just tell.
I can't really shut my laptop when I'm at the game, witnessing it in person. That was...
You can just cut.
I already said it once. I'll say it again. The refs got a hat trick on that game.
Yeah, what was it? It was 2 goals that got called back.
So they took 2 from us. The first was for offside by Robo. The second was for goalie interference on Wyatt.
Wyatt.
It was Wyatt.
No, it was on Jamie. I thought it was on Jamie Benn when he came.
Jamie Benn hit Korpisalo.
Wyatt scored the goal.
I thought it was Wyatt's skate hitting the pillow.
Jamie,
I believe it was Jamie.
Skated through the crease and had.
Regardless,
unacceptable.
Regardless, it was goalie interference.
They Miro hooked, so he awarded the.
Yeah. Officiating has been suspect for quite some time. Unfortunately, the Stars fell victim to that on Saturday, but at the same time, that's the Columbus Blue Jackets, and I get that you're on a night 2 of a back-to-back, not even a night 2. Essentially afternoon because they played at 5 p.m., which in my opinion was a really stupid decision. If you're making a team travel back from Minnesota on a Friday night to Dallas to play, you should at least push that game back to 7:30 or 8. That gives them ample time to get reacquainted, resituated, and reset. But a 5 p.m., that just, I don't know, that felt very early, and it feels like if you're a creature of habit like one of these Stars are, you don't have the time to fully mentally reset. especially because guess what? You went to overtime and then a shootout and you lost the night before. It just feels very repetitive at this point, saying the same things over and over again about this team. Why can't they win in overtime? Why can't they win in a shootout? It's not Ottinger's fault. It's not his fault. He plays well. And honestly, Saturday wasn't Wedgwood's fault. It wasn't all his fault. It is the team in front of him not being able to execute. And listen, the officiating sucks. There's no question about it. But mentally, you have to prepare yourself as a team, as a professional athlete, to get ready and battle as many teams as possible on the ice at the same time, even if that means you're battling the refs and the team that you're playing. So
I would the playoffs. There's no room for mistakes. Like
exactly. That. And I guess the only upside, and we've talked about this before on the podcast, is that there is no 3-on-3 overtime and there are no shootouts. So it's just 5-on-5 hockey, which thankfully, to a degree, makes me comfortable. But at the same time, the way that this team is playing right now, I don't think they've put up more than 2 goals since the All-Star break. I don't like this offense is just not clicking like it was before the All-Star break. And I don't know why. I don't know if it's because other teams now have figured out the Stars' game plan and have watched enough tape on them to combat the Stars' attack. I mean, it's just this team is now starting to lose more 1-goal games than I'm comfortable with them, going into the postseason.
I think for me, it's the fact that it's predictable, that you kind of know going into the game, like, all right, we're going to score and then we're going to like completely demolish ourselves in the next 2 periods. Or if we tie it up, we're going overtime and we're going to lose. It's just everybody kind of knows what to expect now.
It's their MO now, completely.
Dang.
And it's kind of sad.
It is. And this is where the divide between fans comes in, because some fans are like, this I'm bringing this up to bring up something else that was said by our magnificent owner, Tom Gagliardi. But there's a group of fans that are apologists that are like, I don't see why people are so upset. This team is still in first place. Yeah, that's fine. But then there are also,
one point away from being out of first place,
which is a bit of a concern. And not to mention, if you look at the East, those teams are demolishing the people under them. Bruins, prime example. I think they have 91 points as of tonight, which is just bananas. Why is the East so much stronger than the West? Like,
absolutely wild.
It's so frustrating. So, yeah, then there's the other side of fans that are I would think more like on the mindset that we are, that are kind of pounding their fists on the table and saying something needs to change. You need to figure this out. And obviously you guys are not going to get rid of people like Ryan Suter, who, to me, if I can say that I don't notice you, that usually means you're doing a good job on the ice or in any sport. If I don't notice you, if you're not standing out, you're there, you're doing what you need to do, and you're not messing up. I don't notice Ryan Suter because he's not doing anything. He's not offering anything to this team. I don't care that he leads the team or has led the team in time on ice for a majority of the season. And that doesn't mean anything to me. I need someone like a Miro Heiskanen. And when you have a guy like, for me personally, Joel Hanley may not move the needle to a lot of people, but when Joel Hanley started playing earlier this year in January, I believe that's when the Stars went on a tear of not allowing a goal for like 2.5 games. And granted, Ottinger is very much to thank for that, but you take him out and then Suter comes back in, but you have other guys on this team that can make a difference on the defensive end and help maintain puck possession and build that fortress in front of Ottinger that you have to battle through just to get to him. And for me, Suter has never been that guy. You're not that guy, pal. And
that guy.
So The reason that I wanted to kind of segue into this is because the team owner, Tom Ghilardi, was on a Vancouver radio station last week, and he criticized the media in Dallas. He said, "I have a little bit." I'm sorry, and I quote, "If I tuck my chin into my chest, I look more like him because he doesn't have a neck. He looks like a Pixar evil villain." I have a little bit, I have a little bit of an issue in a market like Dallas. We don't have a media that really holds us accountable. They do to a point, but our media in the U.S. in a market like Dallas tends to be cheerleaders. You know, sometimes I think these guys need a little public pressure. And while I kind of agree with that, I don't agree with it coming from the guy that chose to buy the team that's in the city he's talking about.
Yeah.
Right.
And he's up in Canada, mind you. He doesn't live in Dallas that I know of. He's not in Dallas. And you know what? I am going to say a curse word. I fucking hate Jerry Jones, but at least he's at every single game.
Yeah.
At least he involves himself.
Present.
And on the opposite side of the spectrum, I love Mark Cuban, and he's at every game. And he's
also
at
present.
What? He's in prison?
He's also too present.
Yeah, so I mean, if we can get like a little bit of actually, you know what? They're both too present because Jerry Jones thinks that he runs that team. He owns it.
Well, he does.
I don't want to get into this, but I mean,
not the
at
Cowboys
least Cuban, at least Cuban can take a step back and realize where he's like. Yes, he's super present, but he also can take a step back and realize who can actually run the team. I guess I don't know.
Right.
I think he's brought in enough pieces. I think he's brought in enough pieces to kind of
and so like when he brought in, and you know, we're gonna cross sports talk for a second. When he brought in Jason Kidd, he's letting Jason Kidd coach, right? Mm-hmm. Rick Carlisle, he let Rick Carlisle coach until he didn't agree with the way that Rick Carlisle coached. And then he said, I think it's time to part ways. The thing with Tom Ghilardi is he's partly right, but also show the fuck up. Show up. Be around. Yeah. Be present in Dallas, the city that you own a professional sports franchise. I've heard some complaints from, and this is wildly out there, and it may not be as much of an issue now, but a prime example is the Hunt family with FC Dallas.
Yeah.
The Hunt family also owns the Kansas City Chiefs, who I don't know if you guys have heard are pretty good at football.
Huh.
So the Hunt family spends more time in Kansas City than they do in Dallas, or at least parts of the family do. And when granted, FC Dallas has a lot of homegrown talent, and they're able to be competitive with that homegrown talent. It would be nice to get a splash, when Messi was rumored to want to come over to MLS, for FC Dallas and the Hunt family to say, we've made so many millions, if not billions, from the Kansas City Chiefs that we're going to pump some of that money into the FC Dallas organization, and we're going to make a bid for Messi. Because you want to really electrify the fans, bring one of the most prolific soccer players of all time to Dallas.
Yep.
So the biggest issue I have with Ghilardi is he's saying this on a Vancouver radio station. And so if he wants something to change, if he wants something to develop in Dallas more like a Canadian market, which I'm sorry, U.S. markets are not going to be like Canadian markets when it comes to hockey team, because just because it's not our sport doesn't mean we don't own it. Sorry, Canada. Apparently, Bettman has it out for you. Look it up. Canada hasn't won since Bettman comes in. But I do agree with him to the fact that he said that we are too many cheerleaders and not enough of asking questions when it comes to the media.
Sure.
So I turn it over to you guys, and Shannon, I'll ask you first. What do you feel like the media could do that might better or help better cover this team instead of just being quote unquote cheerleaders?
I mean, honestly, you could say the same for the media that you could for the boys that play. They just need to apply a little bit more pressure. Like, if we need answers, we want answers. I understand that there's some things that they can't answer, but on the subject of Ghilardi spouting things from his royal throne up north, that's not going to help anything. You can't solve any issues being that far away and not seeing things firsthand. So, but I will say, whenever he would come to town, oh my gosh, it was like doomsday, right? You know, people hunched over like, oh, Tom's here. Everyone's all worried. So I think for morale, it'd be better if he were around more. It might help more. So as far as media, like I said, just apply a little bit more pressure.
And I think too is if you're in the media and if you're in that media scrum, and listen, you know, we want to be a part of this. We want to be a part of the media. We don't want to talk down to people that we would like to be next to one day. But there are journalists and writers that when they ask these questions at post-game scrums, it just feels like they're doing it in a way that it doesn't hurt the feelings of the players. They don't want to make them mad because they lost.
And I mean, there's a difference between like just being direct and trying to dance around a question. And a lot of people in this day and age have issues with people being direct and being blunt. You know, it's like I come across as rude sometimes. Just I'm not trying to be. I'm just direct. Like I don't have time to dance around and worry about your feelings.
Yeah, I know that for a fact.
Yeah, facts.
Major facts.
Major.
But it's you're right, and they need to be more direct. So I don't know, Jason, Pat, how do you guys feel about how the media handles this team, and how do you think that they could possibly change that and put some more pressure on the team?
I think part of it is that the fan base, while Stars fans that are fans are pretty diehard for the most part. You're either a Stars fan and you want to go to the game or not. But one, it's impossible to watch the games. So fans don't really have a reason to care. And in response, I don't think, not that the journalists that cover the Stars kind of feel like they don't have to care that much, because obviously they do. Just read Saad's work on The Athletic and you'll see that he cares a lot.
Yeah.
But I don't think, like, outside of Tom Ghilardi saying media doesn't care enough, it's hard for people to care about the fourth most popular sport in Texas when it's so hard to watch. And from there, the media doesn't have any reason to cover it. The ticket runs maybe 3 segments about the Stars per week.
Maybe 15 minutes each.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. They have Sagan on
less than an hour. Yeah.
Yeah, they have Sagan on. They'll do on Wednesdays, I think, and then Razors on Friday morning, and that is it. Even during the playoffs, because it coincides with the Mavs, if they're in the playoffs, it's an afterthought.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which sucks because we obviously love hockey and the Stars have a really good chance at success, but a lot of people just don't give a shit.
I don't know. I agree with you, but I also feel like hockey is kind of going in a way where it's kind of having a moment. I mean, I grew up here, and the hockey scene is wildly different.
Yeah,
what it was.
It definitely is.
That's definitely. I mean, I kind of applaud the Stars all the time about how they've kind of grown the sport.
Right.
Regionally.
Exactly.
Locally,
Exactly. And building it from the ground up, like starting with the youth and with all the programs that they offer. And I think that it will happen in due time as we kind of build these hockey players. I say we build. As Dallas and DFW kind of builds and starts breeding hockey players, it's just more people who care. Unfortunately, DFW is kind of it's turned into a hub for everybody. So like it's weird, you know, you get Boston fans and Chicago fans and Minnesota fans just mainly because they're here in DFW for work.
Right. That's it. So you're right. Yep.
And so it's weird to kind of see that. So as much as I think, you know, hockey is growing, especially in DFW, I mean, hockey in general is just growing. I mean, like it's going to pick up here in Dallas, but the fandom will start though with this next coming generation, where I really think it's kind of taken off.
I agree. Yeah, there's a lot of kids that are really getting into the sport, and you know, you have to give credit where credit is due. The Stars have made this sport much more seen and popular, not just in North Texas, but Texas overall. I mean, just today that they announced that they're going to be doing their training camp for next season down in Cedar Park. which, I get that they were doing it in Idaho because the Steelheads are up there. That's their ECHL affiliate. But, that didn't make any sense to me, because why would you take a team that's from Texas and there's, ample places for them to play and put them up in Idaho? But they're going to be in Austin or north of Austin at the beginning of next season. So that's really exciting. And then they learn to play, obviously. They supply the gear for these kids at a much, much more affordable price. But yeah, they are making strides to do that. It's just really frustrating because I feel like there's two sides to this. And, Twitter is already a terrible place to be at. But if you go on Twitter at any given point during a Stars game, you have why isn't so-and-so doing this, that, and the other? And then you have other people going, oh, the sky is falling, the sky is falling, the sky is falling. So there's really, you'll never make everybody happy. But these players do need to be held more accountable, especially moving forward in this season. Tyler Seguin being one of them, and Mason Marchment. I mean, where did you go? The guy hasn't scored in since the very beginning of January, I think.
30 games, I want to say.
And, he started off the season great. He was one of the leading scorers, leading goal scorers. He was great. We thought this is what was advertised. So, that brings, well, I do want to say this before we go into the trade talks, because I thought it was really cool. And it was really funny, since we're talking about the media, the Make-A-Wish kid, Max, that the Dallas Stars signed today. I thought that was really cool. They brought him on, put him on the team. Hinojosa is his last name, had his own locker and everything. And then they did a media scrum, and Max asked Coach Pete DeBoer, what's your overtime and shootout like? And DeBoer goes, you're killing me. You really got to go there. Yeah, you really got to go there. And Max goes, how do you manage the shootout and overtime? And Saad Youssef commented, finally somebody in Dallas media that asked the hard questions.
Yes.
Which I thought was fantastic. Really just cool all around. The Stars do not lack in being part of this community and really, trying to make a difference in people's lives when it comes to things like that. So that being said, Max, newest member of the Dallas Stars, welcome. We'll make a graphic for him. Obviously going to be an integral part to this team.
Really quick, I found out Mason's last goal was at New Jersey on December 13th.
Woof.
That's awful. That's awful.
Yeah.
Even at a price that we got him at. Woof. So that being said, what are some things that are going to help this team? Yeah.
Trades.
So I don't know where to start, because there's a lot of trade targets. Let's just knock the one that's at the top. And I say that as he's the most talked about. That is one, not our own Pat, but another Pat, Patrick Kane. I mean, people are arguing now that he is the greatest American-born hockey player of all time, which would take that from Mike Modano. So yes or no, Shannon, Patrick Kane, and who in your mind would you give up to get him?
Gurianov. Yes, Kane.
I mean, that's yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I feel like that's going to be a pretty resounding.
I've been saying that for a while, so I'm a bit of a I'm on repeat now.
That's fair. So I'll ask other Pat. What about you? Anything that you feel like would be thrown in the mix for Patrick Kane to be a part of the Dallas Stars to make a Stanley Cup run?
I mean, you have to maybe Foxa.
What's up, bro?
With that $5.5 million cap hit, because you got to do some money magic to make that work.
I don't know. He's so hit and miss, I guess maybe it's the inconsistency
of Foxa or
Foxa.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not dogging Foxa as a player or as a contributor, even though he probably underperforms for what he's supposed to be, but it's purely money. Patrick Kane's cap hit is $10.5 million. That would tie up $30 million of $88 million in 3 players.
Yeah.
Which is not good when you have to field 20.
So I've got an answer for that, but I'm curious, Jason, is there anything else that you throw into the mix for Patrick Kane?
I'm going to throw a wild card here and say, let's not touch it.
Oh, God, you're one of those people.
I am, dude. I really am. because I'm not too sure this thing is quite broken. Does it need some fine tuning? Sure, just like any other team that needs to make some midseason adjustments. But is this team really broken? Not quite. Sure. Do we have a couple of people dragging us down? Can we get rid of them? Absolutely. But you're going to have that on literally any other team that you play with. Every team has that. So it's just unfortunate that you have bottom two players. Somebody's got to be the bottom two player. Unfortunately, it's kind of Dennis in this situation. So is this team broken? I'm saying no. Because I've seen this team perform at such a high level that I do feel like this team has what it takes to go all the way. But yeah, sure, we're in a funk right now. And I would much rather hit this funk now than in 2 months from now.
The end of April, yeah.
Yeah, which is generally kind of par for the course with this team.
Mm-hmm.
So to answer Pat's question on how we make this work, it's going to take a third team, and they're going to have to eat some cap space.
Yeah.
Much like, I don't know if you guys saw the trade for, I believe it was, oh gosh, I'm gonna mess this up. It might have been the Ryan O'Reilly trade, which he scored 2 goals in his game with Toronto, I think, today. So cool. They found their missing piece apparently. But Minnesota, I believe, was involved in that trade because the cap hit was so grand that they got a draft pick and ate up quite a bit of the cap hit that he put on that team. Now, don't quote me. It could have been somebody else. But basically, they were a third team that owed a favor to another team. So they said, you trade us a pick and we'll eat $4.1 million for this cap hit.
Right.
So to me, and Jim Neal, listen, we give him a lot of grief. The whole I like where this team is at. I swear to God, if I hear that this trade deadline, I don't like where this team is
you're going to.
As long as Kiviranta and Garionov are on this team, I don't like where this team is at. I'm sorry, Kiviranta apologists. He does not do anything for me. Is he a small, physical, scrappy guy? Yes. Do I care? No. I don't. He had one magnificent game that sent us to the Stanley Cup Finals. I'm tired of hearing about him. Tired of it. Garionov, go away. I don't care that people like him as a person. I don't want a good person on the ice.
I don't know him as a person.
I want that dog. I need someone that's got that dog in him. So it's going to take a third team. I think Jim Neal has the opportunity to make it happen. And as of right now, today, February 21st, the Dallas Stars are the best option for Patrick Kane. They're the best option. They're at the top of the division. They're at the top of the West, I believe, right now, tied with the Vegas Golden Knights with 72 points. So if the Dallas Stars, and Jason, while I do agree with you that this team is not broken, this team will not be able to compete with an Eastern Conference finalist right now. We saw what happened against Boston.
I mean, realistically, we're looking at Boston, right?
Right, right. Unless we see a monumental meltdown, which that's what's so beautiful about hockey in the NHL is you have teams like, what was it, Tampa Bay that got swept by the Columbus Blue Jackets. So, speaking of Leafs, we have friends in the chat. Go Leafs.
Oh, Todd.
He also loves your shirt.
Yeah, this is actually his. Not his shirt, but
whoa.
Story. Sorry.
Whoa.
Made it weird.
No, it's okay. You're doing great. Everyone's having fun.
I'll tell you about this shirt in a little bit.
So that being said, too, there is somebody else on Chicago that I've mentioned before that I would really like for this Stars team to make a run for, and that's Max Domi. So, and what's funny is as I sit here
tomorrow,
yeah, exactly. We're gonna get a good look. What would be great is if we just had a Patrick Kane or Max Domi jersey like ready at the American Airlines Center, and we were like, "Hey,
wait,
since you're already here, snip, snap, snip, snap." Max Domi actually has one more point than Patrick Kane this season, which I think is pretty funny. And Max Domi is that scrappy kind of guy that we need in the bottom six that's actually going to go up and throw hands because apparently Marchment knows how to take a hit, but doesn't really care about defending himself anymore with fisticuffs. I don't know what that's about. I thought we were getting someone that was going to be uber physical. I thought we were going to get another kind of Dellandrea type or a Jamie Benn. Haven't seen that. Don't know how I feel about it.
It seems like we have players that are kind of dipping their toes into that sort of goon lifestyle, and then they ease back.
Because I guess everybody has a plan until you get punched in the face.
Yeah, baby boy, jump on in. Water's fine.
Yeah.
Punch him in the chin. So, out of curiosity, do you guys have anybody else on your radar as far as trade targets for the Dallas Stars? We already talked about the big, bold one for me. I think it was a couple weeks ago. John Klingberg coming back because we need another offensive defenseman. I was met with a lot of grief. But are there any names that come to top of mind and go? Anybody go first?
Big Shin.
Luke Shin?
Only because he's been thrown around in trade discussions.
And he has been currently held out of the lineup for quote-unquote trade-related reasons.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's Vladislav Gavrikov. He's another one with Columbus. But apparently there is a deal in place with Boston right now, and they need to make a little bit of cap space as well. That's the thing, too. This is I could go on so many rants right now, but we need to get to a drunk draft here in a second. The cap being where it is with the NHL, and the reason why I think the NHL is not getting more and more traction, and it remains the fourth most popular major sport in America, North America, is because the cap is so small, and the owners have made it this way. It's not all Bettman's fault, but most of it is. I hate him. The cap is too small to make any big splash trades like that on a regular. Look at the NBA. Dallas Mavericks, prime example. Kyrie Irving, one of the most, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't say
controversial.
Yeah, we'll go with controversial.
I mean, really, he was
polarizing.
That's the one. He is one of the most polarizing athletes in the NBA right now. Luka Doncic, easily one of the most popular athletes in the world right now because he's global. And you have Mr. Worldwide, Dolly. You have a fan base in the Mavericks and Luka Doncic saying we need more help, and then the Mavericks go and make this splash trade that is an astronomical trade if you really think about it, because they can do that. Their cap allows it, or they don't have a cap. Look at the Texas.
They have a soft cap.
Yeah, I need a soft cap, not a hard cap. Go soft. But look at the Texas Rangers. Look at how much money they have spent in 2 off seasons. We're not talking about millions. We're talking about close to billions of dollars in acquisitions. Jacob deGrom, one of the best pitchers in baseball. The Rangers go, how much money do you want? Put it on this piece of paper. All right, cool. We're going to give you $200 million more every year than what you asked for. It makes sports exciting. It makes people want to see what's going to happen because things get shaken up so much. But because the NHL owners and Gary Bettman have this weird little bubble that they have to live in of poverty, you don't get to see that. And that's why the NHL trade deadline right now is kind of like, oh, that's awesome that Tarasenko got traded to the Rangers. And, oh, that's awesome that Ryan O'Reilly got traded to the Leafs and this, that, and the other. But they're going to be rentals. And that's it. Like, there is almost no chance of them re-signing with a lot of these organizations that these major players are getting dealt to. So it's frustrating because the Dallas Stars could easily go out, and I guarantee you Tom Gagliardi has plenty of money tied up in his Canadian hotels and restaurants that he can go out and make a wild, wild trade if he wanted to, but because there's that stupid hard cap, he can't. Bless you, Jason, even though you muted yourself. We're professionals.
Oh, yeah.
Tom Gagliardi worth $4 billion.
Ooh. Wow.
That's ridiculous.
Really?
All I need is like 100,000.
CelebrityNetwork.com?
Excuse me, 3.92, and yes,
broke ass bitch.
Where
future
millionaires go every day.
Trace Comas.
Yeah, if you're under
Trace
4 billion,
Comas, yes.
you
Trace
broke.
Comas.
So
and it, like, from a media standpoint, like, how boring would it be if the Chiefs re-signed Patrick Mahomes and they're like, Patrick Mahomes making $15 million a year. Okay. Who cares? Yeah. But no, when Patrick Mahomes signs a 7-year, $400 million contract, people are like, holy shit.
Yeah.
ESPN's posting fire emojis and eyeballs because they want to reach these geeds.
Reach these geeds.
But it's like the greatest player on planet Earth, Connor McDavid, can't make more than 13 million. Like, that doesn't, no one cares.
Yeah.
You don't know how good Connor McDavid is until you watch him, because people say, oh, Connor McDavid's the best player in the world. And you're like, oh, how much does he make? Oh, his current contract's, $8 million. And you're like, he makes as much as a second string NHL or NFL lineman. Like,
yeah.
The compensation for their value on the ice is not representative at all.
No, and this is an argument that I will have until the day that I die, is hockey is the most physically demanding sport out of all four major sports.
Yep.
By far.
Yep.
It in the after effects that a lot of these players have to deal with. I get it. Football is a contact sport. They're hitting every play and there are concussion issues. Hockey is just as bad, if not worse, when it comes to concussion issues. So we can talk about that until the sun comes back up and goes back down. But for the sake of time, we'll digress into different matters. But it's an embarrassment to see how little these guys are getting paid, knowing how much their bodies suffer after their careers are over. Regardless,
not just their bodies, though. I mean, it's
exactly mentally, it's beyond taxing. And we got wildly off topic because we were talking about trades. There's a ton of guys out there. We've asked multiple times of the French Fries who are some of your trade targets. We've had some great conversations. Keep those up. We'll keep posting stuff. Obviously, we want to see the Stars make a splash, but that's going to bring us to our final part of this beautiful, beautiful live evening.
I'm ready.
Did you get notes?
I did.
Oh, that's great. So
I just wrote them down.
I love that for you. We all had a time this past weekend, and as we talked about, we have recovered. We're back. The 100th episode, Selly at Northside Draft House. We had a blasty blast, a heck of a time with all the French fries, but we may have gotten a little inebriated. So that led me to ask, or nay, I say draft, everyone's top 3 go-to drunk foods. And I am going to defer, and I'm going to give it because ladies first. Shannon gets first pick in the drunk food draft, even though she says she's probably the one that gets drunk the least out of all 4 of us. That's okay. It happens.
Ooh.
So, Shannon, that being said, your number 1 overall drunk food pick, and go.
Whataburger breakfast burger.
Okay. That's great because it's after 11. You're probably tipsy. So I respect that.
No, I mean, I'll make someone go get it for me. It's fine.
Oh, yeah. DoorDash.
And you don't want to pay that $6.99 delivery fee.
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
If you're inebriated,
sometimes it's worth it.
I can't do it on principle alone. I just can't.
I have no principles.
I was about to say, if I'm 3 sheets, I'll be like, I don't get extra
Who needs principles?
Leave it at the
Graduated a
door.
long time ago.
Leave it at the door and knock 3 times so I know it's you. All right. I'm going to dish it over to Jason because I'm going to go last because there was apparently some tomfoolery afoot when we did this last time. So, Jason, your number 1 overall drunk food, and go.
Okay, so hold on. Why don't we start with number 1? Why don't we build to number 1?
It's too late.
Oh, it's too late now.
What's done is done, Jason.
Okay,
maybe
so
we can
number
pretend.
1, give me Jack in the Box Munchie Meal deals.
Ooh.
All day, preferably the chicken bacon one, the chicken bacon ranch burger there that they got. So chef's kiss.
Respect.
It's perfect, man. It's come with the 2 tacos, comes with the drunky fries.
Yep.
With the drunk munchy fries with the curly fries and regular fries in there.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not just one.
Phenomenal.
Like a melody of fries.
It is. It's just it's perfect combination, and the
Beautiful.
price is right. So
Beautiful little mess.
matter of
Good
fact,
one.
I'm probably gonna eat one of these right now.
Hey,
Later.
Pippi, you're not a part of this show.
What up, Pip?
You're not a part.
She is now.
No, I'm not putting kibbles and bits on the drunk food
Oh,
draft.
come on.
All right, Pat, you're up. Number 1, Lego.
My number 1 is a throwback to my college days
Uh-oh.
because I ended up here at 2:33 in the morning quite often. This is New York pizza on Campus Corner. Any
Ooh.
variation of pizza. I know y'all don't know what that is.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
Assuming you've never been there.
Nope.
But they stayed open on
get
weekends
to Norman.
until 4 a.m.
They know their crowd.
Shout out.
My one of my buddies got kicked out of there at 3:15 because he was falling asleep at one of the tables.
I'm sorry that your establishment feels like home.
Yeah.
Sorry, this is the only place I want to take a shit on when
Sorry,
I'm drunk on
no
the
problem.
strip there. I have an app idea for that, by the way.
Oh,
Did we just have an app for that moment?
No, like, okay. I don't want to. If we know any app people, it basically. Patrick, you made a good point here. Like when you're out on a street where there's typically a lot of bars, sometimes those bars don't have very well kept restrooms because of the people who frequent those bars. So sometimes you get the rumbles in the tumble. You get the rumbles in the tummy.
Yeah, the
and
Bee Gees.
you have to make a beeline somewhere. Where are you going to go to on that street?
QT.
So, but what if there's a QT not nearby? Everybody knows QT has the nicest restrooms aside from Buc-ee's. But like, so Yelp, but for restrooms, for public restrooms. So like, where would you take a number 2?
interesting.
I like that.
Like,
I've also, I
think
think
also Jimmy John's for me.
I hate to burst. I hate to burst your bubble. I'm pretty sure that's already a thing.
No.
Yep. Because it's like a where I've
No,
pooped.
it's like
It's like a
2010,
where
so.
it's like a where I've pooped app, and
Yes,
they
San
basically give
Francisco uses it.
yeah, and you rate it depending on how nice the
God
bathrooms were.
Damn it.
There's a couple in
right.
the comments before you say yours, Fink.
I was gonna hold off on it, but Mary Brown's Big Mary Burger. I know how to read emojis. And
So
the
smart.
famous garbage plate at 4 a.m. in Rochester, New York at RIT.
Okay, I'm gonna need to see pictures.
Yeah. We're gonna need to
God.
see pictures. My number one, it's kind of like the garbage plate, and that is gonna be the Waffle House All-Star Special with waffles and sausage, not bacon, because I prefer the sausage when it comes to my breakfast foods, because bacon just gets in the way. It's chewy unless it's crispy. And then obviously eggs sunny side up and hash browns, literally with everything but tomatoes on it.
I have a confession.
Solid.
Okay.
Oh no.
No.
Here we go.
Don't you
don't-
say
I
this.
already
Shannon.
know where this is going.
Don't you say it.
I hope it's that you haven't had it and not that you don't like it.
I've never
worse
been
than
to
that.
Waffle
Oh,
House.
my
That's
God.
fine. No.
Never been to
That's
Waffle
fine.
House.
We'll change
Don't
that.
lie to her, Fink. This is not fine.
No, it is
Sorry.
because it's better than her saying I don't like Waffle House or I would
Okay.
rather have Denny's.
I've never
That's the
been.
absolute worst.
But you know what,
So-
guys? We can see
We
the
could do a
first
show
time.
from Waffle House.
But we have to go at like 1:30 to get the full experience.
Yeah.
In the morning?
Yes.
Yeah.
You
They
cannot.
still-
Come
they
on.
still make
that?
At night?
If
No
you have
one
never
goes to
been
that
to
place
if
when
you've
you're
never
not-
been to a Waffle House at 2 or 2:30 after the bars close, you have
Yeah.
not lived.
Oh, I turn
That's
into a
true.
pumpkin by like 10 p.m. We gotta wrap this up. Like,
Okay.
Wow,
Okay. You've got
Stevie,
defense. You've got
no.
defense.
Oh,
There's
we're gonna
defense.
fight
No,
about this.
stop.
Boo.
cute.
Boo,
I'm about to go to the living
Okay.
room right
My
now.
girl's got my
Yeah.
back.
That's fair. Okay, so we'll change this.
The next
but
time we get
number
drunk, though, let's go to Waffle
Waffle
House.
House. There's
we'll
one on the
try.
way home
do it.
from
You know
the
what?
Richardson
Let's go.
rink.
Yeah, I was gonna say we could go like from a game after Richardson.
Yep.
Oh.
So Shannon, back
Friday
on
night, I'm
you
in.
for the sake
Sorry.
of time. We're gonna go with your second overall pick in your drunk food draft. You are on the clock.
Okay, this one, I'm not picky about where I get it from. It doesn't really matter. It's biscuits and gravy with a fried egg.
B's
Yeah,
and
can't-
G's.
Ooh, nice.
Imagine
Good
Waffle
one.
I mean, you
House.
could put fried egg on a shoe and I would eat it. I
That's
would.
fair.
It's so good.
Who throws a shoe? Honestly, Jason.
Honestly,
No, I'm sorry. Was it Jason? Yeah,
those are
Jason.
true.
You're number 2 in the drunk food draft. You are now on the clock.
Taco Bell.
I mean-
Anything Taco Bell.
Okay,
Just anything. Surprise me, Taco Bell.
Taco Bell.
that's fair.
No sour cream, obviously, for obvious reasons.
Mm-hmm.
No, just kidding. I'm actually one of 2023 New Year's resolutions for Jason was to try foods the way they were intended to be eaten.
No modifications.
No modifications.
Good for you, man.
Okay.
So
That's a bold resolution.
yeah. So just opening up the palate a little bit. So sour cream has been introduced to the palate and it's not terrible.
We love it here. We have a good time.
So
Oh, I'm so
Good on
proud
you
of
for trying it.
Yeah, no, that's something I'm really proud of this year.
Good for you, man. We're all here
Mushrooms
for
have been
you.
on there as too. I was not a big mushroom person, and
Oh.
still not necessarily the biggest mushroom person in the world. But I've had
Saute
more
The
me
fried
up.
mushrooms from
this
Northside
year.
Draft House.
Yeah, they are really
They
good.
slap.
Yeah,
I bet.
slap you
Ugh.
right in your mouth.
Mm.
Pat, number 2 overall in the drunk food draft. You're on the clock, sir.
I'm going Jack in the Box, ultimate cheeseburger, no ketchup, curly
Yep.
fries,
Yep.
So good.
ranch, maybe 2 tacos on the side
Ooh.
if I'm feeling frisky. But
Ooh.
that's a go-to for me.
That's a
Solid
good one. That's a good. And I will say, veteran move on the no ketchup because they load ketchup on their burgers. Like
all 3
heavily.
sauces is too much.
It's a lot.
So much.
Yep.
So
I
much.
love sauce. I'm a sauce
Mustard,
boss.
mayo, ketchup, and
Self-proclaimed.
it's bad.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
I want to give an honorable mention because Jack in the Box is not my top 3, but if you have not tried the egg rolls from Jack in the Box, they're. I'm sorry, did I just steal your number 3?
Yes.
Oh God, they're so good. My number 2 overall, and this is gonna cause a lot of controversy. It's the chili 5-way from Steak and Shake. I absolutely love the smorgasbord of chili and beans and onions and cheese, all packed delightfully on
That
top
just
of spaghetti noodles.
Sounds like you're going from one problem to another.
Oh yeah, we're living in the moment. We are living in the moment.
So, is this comparable to Skyline chili? I guess
Cincinnati chili.
Exactly. So yeah,
Which
that's
is
where
fucking
that's
terrible. So
that's because someone decided to put cinnamon in it. They don't do that at Steak and Shake.
okay,
It's not the
I can live
it's
with
not
that.
the cinnamon, it's the overload of brown sugar that makes it so sweet.
Yeah, so Steak and Shake, I can confirm, or maybe not, because I'm usually inebriated, does not taste sweet. And do I now? Granted, this was when I was about 65 to 70 pounds heavier, like 3 or 4 or 5 years ago. I would get like a burger on the side, and their French fries are like the string fries. I was a big old fat piece of shit, and I would eat like $35 worth of Steak and Shake after a night of drinking. So
Good Lord.
what is even
sounds-
cholesterol?
Yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
about right. Though, for me,
I would
though.
wake up and I'd be out of breath. Anyway, Shannon, number 3. Did I steal yours, or can you
Almost.
come up with another one on the fly?
No. My number 3, and it's funny because these were both mentioned. My number 3 is from Jack in the Box. Jack in the Box
Yeah.
needs to be taking home the trophy tonight.
I think so.
It's 2 tacos and 3 egg rolls with sweet and sour sauce.
Oh God, it's so
Nice.
good, unsuspectingly good.
You know what I found out?
It really is.
And I don't know if this is actually true. I heard this a few years ago. Their tacos, the egg rolls are from Schwann's. You know that delivery service?
Oh yeah, the truck
Hmm.
service.
Mhm.
Wow,
Interesting.
very
You're
interesting.
welcome.
All right, Jason, rounding it out, the top 3. Your number 3 overall draft pick in the drunk food draft.
Let me go ahead and give an honorable mention. It is from McDonald's. It's the double cheeseburger small fry bundle with a large frozen Coke.
Yeah, no, it's
no
responsible.
pickles on the. And this is where I will draw the line. The pickles at McDonald's fucking suck.
Woof.
And the
So-
onions are not good either.
I love the little
Yeah,
onions.
I used to do no pickles, no onions. I've really come around on the onion, especially because they chop them a little finer, and I can
do.
get behind that. But I do typically agree with that. Out of habit, sometimes I'll order no pickles, no onions, just because for like multiple years of my life that was my order, and that's
You
just
child.
how I say it. So,
That's fair.
Well,
so
I
I
respect
just
that.
sometimes I'll default back to it, but.
That's fine. So honorable mention. So number 3.
And then number 3 will be the bacon taquito from Whataburger.
Just one.
Beautiful.
I typically get the combo and then take 2 of the hash brown sticks and put them in my taquito. With
You
some
slut.
Genius.
on it.
You
That
dirty
way-
you dirty little slut. You.
That way, you still get 2 extra hash brown sticks on the side.
I'm so
and then you get
hungry
an
right
extra
now.
spicy
You
ketchup.
basically made like your own potato, egg, and cheese with some bacon in there.
Boom, exactly.
Genius.
Whataburger, hire
life
this
hacks.
man.
I'm so glad you're here, Jason.
Hire this man.
I keep my number on me always.
Number 41 on our table tents,
41.
number 1 in our heart.
Right.
Pat, let's round it out. Number 3 overall pick for you in the drunk food draft.
My honorable mention, since everybody's throwing them out there, is
Respect.
just pizza in general.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because it's the
It's pizza.
perfect drunk food, honestly.
Mhm.
It's just a matter of where you get it from. That's neither here nor there. My number 3 is Whataburger. No item in particular, but it
respect.
would be number 1 if you could go to a Whataburger past like 1 a.m.
Nah, fam.
and expect to not sit there for 30
Multiple
minutes.
hours. Yeah.
That's the problem with their drive-through.
That's
is
why they're number 3 and not number 1.
You go in feeling good, and you come out sober. It's the worst. You literally
if you go in, it takes
Oh.
forever. If you sit in the drive-through, it takes forever. You can't do curbside on the app because they don't want to go outside between 11 and 11.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's bullshit because it's the ultimate drunk food in my opinion. But
I'll
once
give
you
that,
hit
man.
that,
It is, man. It's
you
so
hit
good.
that post 11 until like
Mm-hmm.
3-ish. It's a nightmare.
Banana Lands. It's like Six Flags all over.
Yeah, I've actually passed out in an Uber because we asked him to stop at Whataburger and go through the drive-through, and passed out waiting on our food to get done.
Best.
All right.
Speaking of, I think I'm glad that you brought this up because my initial answer was different than what my number 3 is going to be, and this is for my Dallas and Fort Worth like locals.
Uh-oh.
By the way, we just had this come in. King of Grackles. Yes, my number 1 was the All-Star Special. Almost everything on the hash brown
that
besides
Ivester?
tomatoes.
Who is
What?
that?
I don't know. It's the King of Grackles. My number 3
Obviously.
Bird
overall
enthusiast.
pick in the drunk food draft. And Pat, you reminded me of this because we would ask our Uber driver to do this anytime we'd go out in Dallas. That would be Fuel City Tacos with the elote.
Oh.
Because
okay.
nothing tastes better unless you feel like you're about to get shot. And Fuel City
What's up, dude?
Tacos, just
Cash
outside
only.
of downtown Dallas.
Off 35.
Man. Yep. Right off 35, right next to the prison.
Well, we
Their
talked about they got the one in
burritos?
Mesquite now, too.
You do have one in
So-
Mesquite, but does it?
You can get the same atmosphere in Mesquite these days.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, that's just Mesquite. Sorry, Mesquite. We're all from DFW, so we can say it. Yeah.
This guy
Yeah,
gets
see,
it.
Fuel
I
City is the
lived
shit.
there
That place
for-
is nuts. Yeah, it's like a
Absolutely.
scene out of fucking Fast and Furious and biker boys all put together.
Absolutely.
What's up with the fucking Longhorns out there, too, man?
What?
Like, why do you got to have the one at the Dallas location?
Yeah.
They still have, like, steers and
the statue.
cattle
Yeah,
statues.
yeah.
No, don't they have, like, live ones?
Oh, I don't know. They probably killed them all. Wait,
Well,
it's true.
Yes,
Longhorns,
they do.
horses, and goats. Yeah, how do you think they get the meat?
whoa.
Fuel City Tacos. Well,
Ringing
this has been
endorsement.
a phenomenal episode full of laughs, loves, and tears, and I am starving. So that being said, I want to thank everybody that listens to this eventually, everyone that watched it, Todd for commenting, as well as the King of Grackles, and Stevie for defending
Name's Chris.
Shannon.
What's up, Chris?
Oh,
out.
I need to explain my shirt really quickly.
Oh yeah, explain
Oh,
it really
yeah.
quick.
So this is actually is something that Todd Skirving, he plays on the Newfoundland. He plays up in Newfoundland on the Growlers, I believe.
Newfies?
I mean,
Yeah.
you mean Newfoundland?
Newfoundland.
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 I was born and raised in Texas. Please don't murder me, Canada. And
I was too, but Terry
we
Ryan.
actually put the shirt together. It's called the Scurvy. It says it down here at the bottom somewhere. There it is. His, I believe it's his dad that was diagnosed with prostate cancer. So he put together this shirt. You can see the little emblem here, and he's all proceeds went to that foundation.
I hope I don't get
That's
canceled for
awesome.
making
Very
a Scurvy
nice.
joke, though.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So-
Maybe.
Yeah.
What, Jason?
Well,
Come
Nothing.
on, man. Come on, man.
Yeah, well, I didn't know the story behind it. Now I feel like an asshole. So
You should.
well, burn.
I just watched this.
Apologize to
TikTok
Todd.
series. Sorry, Todd.
Sorry for Jason.
Sorry,
Todd.
Todd.
Sorry.
Sorry about Jason.
Jeez.
But no, I just saw this TikTok trend or this playlist, and it was trying to get their coworkers canceled, where they would totally like bait them into like saying something, and they're like, "Hey, do you want to know the origin behind what you just said?"
Oh,
Oh, that's a good
my
one.
God.
It's so
That's a good
funny.
one.
Jeez.
It's so funny. All right, I'll send it to you later.
Yep.
Go ahead.
But yeah, thank you to everyone that tuned in, and thank you, Todd, for hanging out and watching with
Todd.
us.
Thanks for hanging out.
Good luck up in Newfoundland. I want to come visit you and hang out at Terry Ryan's pubs. I feel like he owns a lot of them now. If you don't know who Terry Ryan is, just look up 10-inch cock on Google.
What?
I'm sorry, it's Ted Hitchcock, but if you say it, fast, it's pronounced 10-inch cock.
12-inch cunt.
There goes our. God damn it, dude! Now we
And
can't
with
have.
that-
Now we have to put the
explicit.
That
was
went
like
out the
first
window.
5 minutes.
Like
that went out the
actually
window a
really
long
sorry.
time ago.
Yeah.
Woof.
But this is one of our longer episodes, so yep, exactly.
Now we have to
Boom.
go.
We did it, guys. Another live
George
episode. I hope everyone enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed listening. Make sure to go follow us on all forms of social media, even LinkedIn and YouTube, where this will be reposted. And you can see all of us just cringe at everything that we say the entire time. As always, we appreciate everyone's support with the French Fry Nation. And I don't know who wants to lead us off.
Make good choices, Dallas.
God, we needed to hear that after this one.
Stay sassy. Always.
Stay moist.
And don't, for any reason, even if you have a Freudian slip and really make things awkward, forget your Kermit tattoos.